Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now June 17th of 2023. We are just 2 weeks away from the release of INDY 5, and we're also inching closer and closer to the release of the Ahsoka Tano series by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, which, by the way, is really going to be a game changer if it is what it is said to be. Basically, the overall approach of becoming the new flagship series over The Mandalorian and how Disney executives believe it's going to be the home run of Disney Plus Star Wars. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into exactly what's going on here with Lucasfilm and Disney. Now, as you all know, with Star Wars right now, there's a lot of good and bad going on. Everything that Jon and Dave are creating seems to, so far, be very on point. The Ahsoka series is looking great in my opinion, just by going by the marketing and the footage, stuff like that. And given that Filoni was 100% involved with this one, with zero Kathleen Kennedy creativity involved, I must add. But what's interesting here has a lot to do with something that's very concerning involving the Acolyte series, and how it is going to literally transform many elements of George Lucas' Star Wars. We're going to be diving into many elements about this, and how it does involve other aspects that I believe a lot of fans are going to be very unhappy about, because it is going to change Star Wars at the roots, and this is all being led by Leslye Headland and Kathleen Kennedy, make no mistake. So let's tap into all of this. Now, with Leslye Headland and Kathleen Kennedy developing the Acolyte still to this day, with last-minute reshoots on the horizon to begin this fall, one big development that has been brewing behind the scenes involves Leslye Headland's plan for the Acolyte. Now, this plan by Headland is to hire and bring in actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge to portray a new character in the Acolyte series, which is set during the High Republic. Now, Leslye is said to be a very big fan of Waller-Bridge, and loved her droid L3 in the Solo movie, and is now in the process of creating a cameo for Waller-Bridge in the Acolyte series that is described to contribute to a big retcon against the prequel trilogy lore and Lucas's philosophy of Star Wars. Now, Leslye is planning to bring in Waller-Bridge for 2 whole episodes to play a big part, yet not a major role, as a new character that will also have much to do with changing the lore of the Sith and what they are all really about, what is described to be a controversial decision that will divide the fans. The plan is to also portray the Sith as good guys, in a way in the Acolyte story at times. Can I just stop here for one moment? Now, the thing that really bothers me about this is that this is typical Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland attitudes, or behavior I should say, is that they want to transform how you view important pieces of Star Wars lore, or Indiana Jones lore, whatever it may be. In this case, the Acolyte is going to basically completely retcon the prequel trilogy and strip it down to its knees. That's basically what's happening. They're really kind of just taking it down to the bare minimum and transforming that lore. So they want to make the Sith essentially good guys in this one, and they don't want to make them as evil as they are portrayed to be in George Lucas' Star Wars. They're also going to change a lot of things like the Sith Code and the whole structure of the Rule of Two system that was created by Darth Bane. They're really changing a lot of things here, and I think that this is really going to make a lot of fans upset. To make it even worse, Leslye Headland is trying to bring in somebody that's very much not welcome right now, and that is Phoebe Waller-Bridge coming back to the Star Wars franchise, not playing a droid, but this time a Jedi, give or take, or a Force user, whatever have you, to kind of narrate exactly how the Sith are going to be portrayed in this good guy way. So let's move on to the next thing. It gets even more involved. Now, the plan is to actually also portray the Sith as good guys in a way that the Acolyte story will actually unravel. Waller-Bridge's character that Leslye is developing right now for the planned reshoots is said to be a Force user of some kind that will expose something of substance surrounding the Sith and how they really aren't all that evil as they are made out to be. Leslye wants to give this new Sith a new approach. Additionally, Headland also revealed in a recent interview that she wanted to transform the Sith to be very different to how Lucas represented them in the prequels, originals, and even all other types of media like Legends and Clone Wars, as she wants to create her own universe that will expand the Sith in the story to be the good guys of the Star Wars galaxy in their own. Meanwhile, the portrayal of the Jedi will be seen as evil. Leslye, of course, and her idea is to swap those roles, and Waller-Bridge's minor character plays a role in making that happen. Now again, I can't stress this enough, this is typical Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland behavior about how they handle the franchise, be it Star Wars or Indiana Jones, whatever it may be. Anything that Kathy Kennedy touches goes down in flames. It's almost confirmed at this point. In fact, it is confirmed at this point, based on everything that we have been talking about Indy 5, and what's been going on with Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte. And there's so much to talk about with those two projects because it's been going through a lot of trouble. In fact, I would not be surprised if either Acolyte or Skeleton Crew gets delayed, either one or the other. But this is even all the more interesting is because this isn't the first time that an actor is going to be coming back to Star Wars twice. We have Andy Serkis, who portrayed Snoke, who came back as a new character in Andor, and he's coming back, I think, in Andor Season 2. Here, the same exact thing is applying for Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Leslye Headland was inspired by Andor by basically double casting. She wants her back as this new Force user instead of a droid, and to actually have her basically transform the Sith in some way, shape, or form to expose that overall system that the Sith really aren't all that bad, and that they actually have their reasons as to why they are acting the way that they act in the Star Wars galaxy far, far away. And again, I can't really support this at all, because this is typical Leslye Headland behavior too, is that, you guys may recall, she wants to strip down George Lucas's philosophy right down to the ground. That's her goal with the Acolyte. And anybody who really is looking forward to the Acolyte and they think it's going to be some masterpiece, I just want to warn everybody that it may sound great on paper because it's about the Sith, it's about emerging dark side powers and all these different things, but if you really look hard about who's controlling this thing and what actually happened to Indy 5, it's all Kathleen Kennedy driven nonsense. And this is exactly why I am so unenthusiastic about the Acolyte series. I'm not trying to be negative or pessimistic, but this is just what's happening. And you really can't shake that negative feeling. You really can't, because they are set out to destroy what we love, and that's what John and Dave are all about. They're all about saving that. They want to make sure that they can save the franchise. And that's why I love those guys so much, because Mando 4 and Ahsoka, they are the big opportunity to create that momentum again. So anyways, guys, I'm very intrigued, very interested to hear what you all have to say about Leslie's attempts here to really transform Star Wars by bringing in Waller-Bridge again. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Night to moon,